Okay, I think we're live. It should start appearing. Yep, there it goes. Now, looking at the other one, don't look at the other screen with your chats on there because you'll get dizzy. Look at the one with your camera on it. So hey everybody.
I don't see the chats. How do I get that up?
Well, you got to go to my channel and pull up the video that's going on right now, and then just turn the volume all the way down, or we'll hear like 3 or 4 echoes into there. So, hey, Lonely Prepper. Hey, everybody. Wiregrass Homestead. Christy, Wheat Tree, JD. Hey, everybody. I'm glad y'all are coming in here. I have a special guest, and it's Rachel Stewart with Spend Smart, Live Happy. And like I said in the video earlier today, we're going to be talking about minimalism and prepping. You know, that's two contradictions in terms, if you ask me. But you know, the truth of the matter is that we all need it. You know, if you're a prepper, if you're a homesteader, you need it. Hey, Tony, you need minimalism in prepping because you know you only got so much room you can prep. But anyway, let me introduce Rachel to you and let her tell you a little bit about herself and her channel. And okay, go ahead, Rachel.
Okay, I was trying to get up. I can't see the chat, but that's okay. We'll just.
Okay. No, go ahead and do that. I'll keep talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, give me just a moment.
Yeah, she's trying to pull up the chat, so we let everybody come in just a minute anyway. And hey, Pickers. Hey, Allie. I'm glad you made it. Oh, JD, and Eric and but anyway, while I got y'all here, now if you check out her channel, Mr. Rain, if you put her channel up there, she's only like a few away from being 1,000 subscribers, and we would really like for her to get to 1,000 subscribers during this live stream. I mean, because she has the watch hours, all she needs is 1,000 subscribers, and I know I have a big enough audience that'll get on here and we'll hit her to 1,000. You watch. Hey, Mr. Rain says H. That's not a leak. That's an H.
All right. So, oops.
Yeah, Grammy's having internet problems, ain't she? So she might not make it. Yeah, Miss Rain said, yeah, Heidi said we can do it. We can get you to 1,000 subscribers. So that's no problem. Have you been able to pull up the chat yet?
So I've got your. Okay, there's the. Yep, there's the chat on the right hand side. Okay.
Okay, you're good. Okay, well, go ahead and tell them about you and your expertise. Let's, you know, we're ready. We're waiting.
Okay, so get my notes here if that's okay.
Oh, it's good. Hey, Blissful.
All
Theo.
right. So, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Rachel Stewart, and I'm a health coach, and my YouTube channel is Spend Smart, Live Happy. So, first things first, I'd like to just give some big thanks to a few people who have really kind of made some magic happen for me this weekend. First things first, Mr. and Mrs. Rain with Rain Country were kind enough to give me a shout out this weekend and support my channel. And so you guys know, it just like exploded. I had 910-ish subscribers. I only needed about 90 more. And then bam, it's just like nonstop. I've been getting additional subscribers. Everyone in the whole homesteading community has been so kind and welcoming. And then, you know, Daniel here, just a total rock star. I'm so appreciative to him for this opportunity tonight and to kind of maybe bring something fresh to this community. And for all of my friends, colleagues, subscribers who are here in the live chat as well, welcome. Thank you so much for checking in. Some of you might be new kind of to the homesteading scene, but with Spend Smart, Live Happy, it's all about just being self-reliant and having the life of your dreams, learning to live more frugally and just be happy. So with that being said, how did I end up here tonight talking to you guys about what's probably seems like contradictory topics of minimalism and homesteading or prepping? And I guess the high points I would say is that minimalism has probably single-handedly been the most drastic change starter in my entire life. And so the high points of having since started my minimalism journey would be that now I can proudly say everything in my home has a place and I know where to find it. And I no longer have to go to that junk drawer and like dump the whole thing out to find the one little thing that I was looking for. And I don't have to be that obnoxious girl at the grocery store who is ticking off everybody behind her because it's taking me 5 minutes to find my debit card at the bottom of my Hollywood-sized Mary Poppins bag. And, just things like that. So it wasn't always that way, though. And it was by beginning this minimalist journey, and that's what I want to talk to you tonight, kind of about what minimalism means and introduce you to maybe something that's new for you, or perhaps some of you are even well further along in your minimalist journey than I am. So, kind of talking about where I came from in this is I had found myself in a very messy situation in life. I was probably nearly 90 pounds overweight. I was seriously in debt. I was just so miserable in my corporate job, working 60, 70 hours a week, high stress, drinking too much, anxiety, all those things, right? And what was most frustrating was that after working so many hours during the week, and I know for even you, those of you who aren't working corporate jobs, if you are working on a homestead, you're working long, hard days. And then if you have to spend half of your weekend cleaning up just stuff, that's frustrating. And I got to the point where I was becoming resentful of myself, of my family, of my stuff. I mean, when you're angry at your stuff, it's time for change. So, with that being said, I knew that something had to change. And so when I started this minimalism journey, I had no idea what it would lead into. At first, it just started out as, I think I'm going to get rid of a few things. And so I got rid of, I got like a couple carloads full of stuff and had a garage sale, and I thought I was doing great. And then it just kind of spun off from there. And one thing leads to another. And that's what I realized in this journey was that the one thing the way you do one thing is often the way you do everything. I'm going to repeat that. And that's true for all of us. So I should say, the way we do one thing is often the way we do everything. So it starts out just kind of wanting to purge some of that junk, that clutter that is taking up too much space. And then before you know it, it's impacting your relationships. It's impacting the way that you spend your money, the way that you save money, your diet, your exercise, your just every area of your life, and it's transforming. And so that's why I don't necessarily have a minimalism channel, but on my YouTube channel, you'll find a lot of content about that because I feel like it is so critical to making massive change in your life. And so that everybody knows, I'm just going to kind of talk to you a little bit here with an introduction to what minimalism is. And then we're going to get into the meat of our topic today, which is minimalism pertaining to homesteading and prepping, because a lot of people wouldn't think those things can go hands in hand, but they totally can. And then we're going to go ahead towards the end and open it up for Q&A. So you'll be more than welcome to ask questions, offer your expertise, because those of you who have recently subscribed to my channel and maybe watched some of my content, you'll know that I just bought my first homestead on a half an acre here in Las Vegas. I'm very excited. And I by no means pretend to be an expert in homesteading or emergency preparedness. I do have experience in those things and have been preparing and researching and practicing on a small scale, but I definitely can share with you everything I've learned about minimalism. So let's go ahead. Let me take a look. I hope you don't mind. I'm just kind of looking at some notes here.
Okay, we let me say hey to a couple of people while you're looking over notes. Hey, Grammy, I saw you come in, Eric and JD, and we got a lot of people watching here. So she's going to go over some uh, different things about minimalism. I don't know if y'all saw the thumbnail picture I had today. I mean, that's something that I need minimalism something because I have a lot of food preps and stuff, and she got a lot of questions today about water and preps like that, and how do you be minimalist about that? But I'll stop interrupting and let her go for a little bit. But so
Well, no, I think it's awesome, Daniel. I love that you're asking these questions because that's the thing is that so many people in life see everything as black and white, and they feel like, there's just such a divide between these two communities, and there doesn't need to be. And it's at the end of the day, we should all just want the same thing, which is to be self-reliant and to be happy, to be healthy, and live life to the best of our ability and take care of our own needs and not expect anyone or anything to take care of us. So, for all of our peeps that are here tonight, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and supporting Daniel and I. And so, you're definitely in the right place. If you either want to learn how to get started with some emergency preparedness and how to do it as efficiently and frugally and as organized as possible, or you're just kind of looking for how you can do it more efficiently or be more organized, etc. So,
amen.
um, hmm? What, Daniel?
No, I was just saying hey. I said hey, mud pie girl. Sorry. Hey, Mike with Mike. Well, a hike with Mike. Okay, never mind. So yeah, we're getting quite a few people in here, so it's pretty awesome. You're only 11 away from your goal. You're 11 subscribers.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I love it in life when magic happens and when people come together. It's the most brilliant thing, and the fact that I get to be the receiver of that, I pretty much have been walking around with a constant smile on my face. And I'm a part of quite a few communities on YouTube. I've never seen anything like this. The whole homesteading community, you guys are solid. You're really good people. I like it. Um, so I'm glad to maybe be making some new friends.
Yeah,
Now,
go ahead.
with that, a lot of people, like we talked about in our trailer, a lot of people don't actually do any type of emergency preparedness because sometimes they don't see the value of it. They think it's silly or it's wasteful. Some people do see the value of it, but they don't know how to get started, or they think it's too expensive because it is overwhelming. I mean, if you're coming from a small apartment and you're finally getting your first home, and you're maybe newly married, you're starting to have kids, you want to start to take care of your family, and the idea of having to have a year or 2 year supply of your family's essentials, that's overwhelming. That's very overwhelming. So what I want to talk to you about is how to solve those issues and how minimalism can help you do it. So, traditionally people, if they don't know much about minimalism, they think of it as the young savvy bachelor in New York who's got a nightstand and a flower and one picture on his wall. And then some people who don't know anything about like homesteading or prepping, they picture the like weirdo hermit out in the mountains with his hordes of fruit salad, canned fruit salad. So, it's just like people don't really know. And it doesn't have to be either that way. What's cool about minimalism and why I dig it so much is that it means something different for everyone. And what I really like to celebrate on my channel is that nobody should be put in a box, and you shouldn't put yourself in a box. You don't have to be a homesteader or a minimalist or a vegan or, anything. You're just you. And you do things your own way in the best way that fits your lifestyle. So, what minimalism, why it's different for every person, is that it's not about having few items. It's about eliminating the excess and the waste. And that's why it's different for everybody, right? So, me, I'm an artist. I love to have beautiful paintings on my walls and beautiful decor from my world travels, things that make me smile or have specific personal value. I used to have also, alongside those things, knickknacks that I got at the, garage sale down the street, or something I picked up at a cheap store. And so what I did is I still have a lot of home decor. So maybe somebody would challenge me and say, Rachel, you're not a minimalist. Well, yeah, I am. Because I can sit on my living room couch, and if you sat with me, I could look at everything in my living room and tell you how it has a special story, a special meaning. It was from a very particular time of my life. And then I got rid of everything else. So how that pertains to the homesteading and the prepping is that a big complaint people have, and why they choose not to prepare for these types of emergencies, is they say they don't have enough room. Because, yeah, if you're storing a year's worth of rice and wheat and beans and water, and these things take up room. And sometimes if you were to look in the average kind of prepper's household, underneath every bed there might be like boxes of food, and you open like there's just like food and storage everywhere. And that's probably what makes non-preppers look at someone like that and be like, wow, they're a weirdo. But it's not like that. So, but for me too, it's when you have stuff everywhere in everything and there's no sense of organization, it actually creates quite a bit of white noise. And with minimalism, the point is when you eliminate the excess and the waste, then you make room for abundance in the things that you value. And probably my biggest tip that I would give someone in embarking on a minimalist journey is to first not decide what you want to get rid of, but decide what you definitely don't want to get rid of. And so, for me, when I was doing the beginning stages of my mass purgings, I knew, I mean, obviously you can see I'm a jewelry person. I wasn't going to touch my jewelry, and I wasn't going to touch my scarves. And so then after that, it made eliminating the other things a lot easier because they didn't matter as much. So if you really want to take your prepping to the next level and you feel like you don't have enough room, I would challenge you to say that you do. And that's like whether you live in a small townhome like I've been living in for the last few years, or you live in a 3,000 square foot home with 10 acres, you can still be a minimalist, and you can still be a homesteader, and you can still be a prepper. And they just all fall on varying scales. Now, so it's kind of like the concept of polarity, right? And there's hot and cold and noisy and quiet, all these things. And so people think of it as minimalism or prepping. And it's not a contrast like that. So let's say you're someone who does value these things. Then the way that you can start to do this and do it in a smart fashion, it would be a few things. And I guess before I continue on, do you have any questions, Daniel?
Uh, uh, no, I'm listening. I'm paying attention, and I resemble a couple of those remarks. So
I hope I'm not being offensive.
no, I'm just kidding. You start when you're preparing. You do almost become a hoarder. I mean, they were saying that in the chat, and you start looking for any space that's available. Okay, I got 2.5 inches under the bathroom sink. What can I get in there? That kind of thing. So you start looking at spaces that you could do that. And so that's why I'm so interested in this, because, you know, I, I'd like to change that, so I'm going to get rid of some junk. And, and I've been working on that. I've been working on getting rid of a lot of stuff that I just don't need. I mean, I have a big old boneyard, and a boneyard is something that you might need in the future. And this boneyard takes up a big old area. I'm thinking, well, the metal scrapyard could probably use that more than I could use that. But go ahead, go ahead. I'm paying attention, and I'm laughing at the chat. Everybody's having fun. You're only 3 away, so
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Thank you all. And I hope so I really want to, try to get into some meat here of why people are here, because I want to make sure they walk away from this feeling like they've gained something from this. And so let's maybe just break it down for a minute, right? So here, I'm little old Rachel Stewart. I'm just starting out in the world. I decide, hey, I want to start building some emergency preparedness supplies, and I want some water and some food, maybe some medicine and some batteries. And well, how the heck do I get started? And or even if you do have a large, already somewhat of an established supply, but it's not what you want it to be, and there's a lot more you need. First things first, what's key is planning. And that's true in anything in life. First, you need to know where you're going. And the best way to do that would be to identify the needs of your family. So,
What
are
the,
you just are you a single person? Are you a single person, taking care of an elderly person or a small child? Are you an entire family? And based on the number of people in your household, and you want to consider the potential additional number of people that could come to your household in a time of crisis or need, and then figure out how much total supplies would you need. And you want to start out small. You don't have to right off the bat have a year's supply. So start out, wanting to have just like a month, and then to 3 months, and ultimately try to build to a year or longer. But when you map out, okay, I want 3 months or 6 months or a year's worth of supplies, and you know how many you need, then you can break it down and actually create like a calendar. And I want to create a template like that. And maybe that's something you guys can let me know in the chats if you'd be interested in, like a 12-month emergency preparedness plan of you would, okay, you go and you buy these items this week or these items this week, but you have to be flexible, because the best way to do it the Spend Smart Live Happy way, is to not right away go out and buy 6 months worth of toilet paper, even if you can afford to do so. Because the most efficient way to do it, for those of you who aren't exposed at all to couponing and things like that, there is so many ways that you can save money, and most items go on sales cycles. Pretty much most consumer goods every 6 to 8 weeks are going to go through a sales cycle and be at their rock bottom price. So the key is, let's say, okay, I'm Rachel Stewart. I want to start out with building this supply. Then I'm going to start watching if I need toilet paper for when those sales cycles hit, and I'm going to buy as much as I can at that time. And then I probably won't buy any more toilet paper till the next sales cycle, and then I'll stock up. So let's see, and then so when you have the plan and you start building slowly, then you're doing it financially in a feasible way, because that's a lot of people's big complaint is, I don't have money to just blow on extra batteries or extra toilet paper. And then let's talk about storage, right? A lot of people who are prepping, when there's stuff everywhere, you don't know what you have, where it's at. What happens is you end up buying maybe more than you need, or you have things that start spoiling, you're not rotating. And so by keeping things in an organized way, which that's where the minimalism comes in, because if you've got too much stuff just everywhere already, you're not going to be able to create systems and organization structures to organize these things. How is your stuff set up now, Daniel? It's just kind of like in various places around the house.
the food storage, it's everywhere. It's probably some under the couch right there. So, but yeah, you've run out of space. But I'm building a pantry, and all the food's going to go in that. So, and whatever I can't get in there, I'm just going to go with whatever can fit in there, because you're right. It's under the bed. It's in the bathroom sink. It's under the kitchen counters. It's crazy. Hey, food forest, and you're at 1,000, by the way. So,
Oh my gosh! Woo! That's great. Thank you, guys. Thank
yeah, they
you.
were talking about hydroponics in there too. That hydroponics is the way to go. Of course, I do aquaponics, which is really good. You just need the fish. You don't need to buy the chemicals. But I have had hydroponic before, and the chemicals are expensive. So, but they do grow good. So, I you know I I'm a simple homesteader, so I can't afford big systems like that. But yeah, but that's
Yeah.
something we talked about earlier, is about was storing water was in a big system like that, or something that you were using it multi-purpose items to
Yes.
work as a minimalist. Uh, so go ahead.
So, yeah, I mean, that perfectly segues into the next thing is the reason why you can either be a minimalist in a homestead or in whatever you do, either small scale or large scale, is that those minimalist principles apply across the board. And so, minimalism, I would say it's based upon the sense of that everything in your life, that's material belongings, relationships, time commitments, energy usage, everything has a purpose. It serves to better enhance your life, to add value, to help further you along in your journey. So the key is to make everything useful. And if it doesn't serve a purpose, get rid of it. It doesn't fit, because everything that you say no to allows you to say yes to something else. And so when make sure you can try to find to make things functional. And I loved when I started checking out your channel, Daniel, and that's what we were talking about, was as I'm getting ready to kind of master plan this new little homestead journey that I'm headed on, is I want to do it from day one as efficient as possible and be able to see how many things I can get to be multi-purpose, multi-use. And so when I saw on your channel all that you're doing with the aquaponics and and growing things in the water, and you mentioned a comment in one of your videos, and that's what like right away triggered me, was when you said, hey, this water can be filtered. So for any of you out there that are hikers, backpackers, campers, you can go to the most like the filthiest stream, and you might have to filter that water a couple times, but you can take brown water and make it drinkable. So if you can have you're already going to grow food, and you want to, like Mrs. Rain, I can't wait to dive into her videos with the all the herbs, because I really want to get into making my family's own medicines and tinctures. And you had said, Daniel, that growing them in the water was great, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so for me, I was really like tickled about that, because I thought that's perfect. I can have my water storage and grow my herbs to give my family medicine and have more growing space. So it's like the multi-purpose, right? And this isn't necessarily related to homesteading or prepping in particular, but with like the minimalism, that's where probably one of the hardest things for people to get rid of is sentimental items. And if that's something you're interested in, you can head over to my channel and find some videos on that. But the key is to not have things collect dust, not have things just sitting in corners. If you can make something multi-purpose, functional, or have more value, that's what you want to do. So I actually saw on some preppers website, they mentioned like, if you have lanterns for your just emergency preparedness, and you've got maybe a very beautiful corner I can't say that word, corner cabinet, you can display the
Curio.
lanterns inside there as a actually like home decor, right? So it's things like that. Instead of having that be another item on the shelf in your garage, turn it into home decor. Make a vase out of it, and have some fresh flowers in there. There's so many different things you can do to incorporate your everyday your preparation items into everyday use. And then making sure too with minimalism, I come from a personal background where friends, family, people of that background are very big into emergency preparedness, family supplies, planning. And it's like, sometimes you'll see people, they'll have a 12-month supply of canned goods, but it's all stuff they wouldn't actually ever eat. And so then what happens is they're keeping it just in case. And then, that crisis never comes. And then they're getting rid of 12 months worth of canned green beans, that they never even ate. So I'm a believer in making sure you're really efficient with what you buy, right? So maybe you are someone who eats a lot of chili, you eat a lot of burritos, you eat a lot of bean salads. And so maybe, instead of just buying cans of chili, stock up on tons of different kinds of cans of beans, because you know that with those kinds of basic essentials, you can make a million different things that you and your family eat all the time. And so it's just trying to think like to work smarter, not harder, and get creative, think outside the box. How can I incorporate these things into my everyday life? to where then I can keep them being rotated, I can keep them being used, or I can display them. And with, we talked about the water, growing things in the water that then can then also be turned into water storage and filtered if needed. And you can, if you have recreational vehicles, you have boats, other types of things that would contain gasoline before those winter months, and they're getting put away for the winter, fill them all up, because if some kind of crisis were to occur, a boat or another type of vehicle might be holding 50 gallons worth of gasoline. And then guess what? You don't have to have canisters, gallons of gasoline in your garage, things like that. So it's just kind of getting creative. Where can I put this? How can I store it? How can I use it? How can I repurpose it to make it more useful and take up less space? Does that make sense?
Yes, makes a lot of sense. It's I've been thinking a lot about it. Because I've been watching the chat too. So, Mr. Rain's trying to hold on to all this stuff. No, I gotta hold on to my power tools. But you don't need 5 chainsaws. And matter of fact, I have like 3 chainsaws and like 20 saws. There was a prepper show. I forget the name of it, but it said one is none and two is one. So I kind of laid that to heart, and I have like 6 shovels, and I always figured if it came down to it, I would have be able to do everything by hand. So, but it is redundant, and I've learned how to make handles now. So it's just you're right, and I'm listening, and I'm paying attention. So, but I do have, like the picture I had today. I had all these different kinds of beans. They weren't just green beans. They were black beans and pinto beans and
Yeah.
3 different kinds of kidney beans. So yeah, you know, it was different. So I can make a bunch of different things. But go ahead. So sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. So now let me just check in real quick. Is this helpful? Am I giving you the kind of information you were hoping for?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
absolutely.
Cool. I just want to make sure I'm, because I'm talking, so I'm not paying super close attention in this chat here. I want to make sure, everybody's on board and having a good time.
Hey,
Now,
Wendy,
what's
I
that?
said hi to them. I just said hi to Win in Idaho.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm just looking in here. We got, looking at who we got
And
in here. Different people we've seen today online and stuff. That's fun. Um, Now, when you're
okay,
talking about the tools and having extras and stuff, that's something else that really changed when I started to adopt a minimalist lifestyle. Was when I was a single mom and money was tight. I had the mindset of always kind of going cheap and in bulk. And what I realized and how my perception changed was it's okay to spend a lot of money on an item. That's still, that's still being frugal, because the thing is instead of buying 5 items of lower quality at a lower price that are going to break, or are also then just cluttering and are adding the white noise and distraction and mess in your house, save up, research, wait till you can get a really great deal and buy a really high quality one. And then instead of just, like with lower quality ones, when you might just toss it out or, get a new one or whatever, get the higher quality one fixed. Get it maintained, have maintenance performed on it. And so then when you're buying higher quality items that are going to last longer and you value them more, so you're going to take care of them more, then you don't have to have 10 cheap versions of that item. And but like when Mr. Rain was talking about his tools, if he's really a tool guy and he loves his tools, then don't purge the tools. Purge all the other junk in the garage that doesn't mean anything to you, so that you can make room to have like the most killer, wall spread and drawer spread and built-in shelves and everything to really maximize your use of those tools. Because also too, when you have all this other stuff everywhere, and then the things that you do have that you value aren't being displayed or organized in a way that makes them easy to use, then you're not even really gaining value from them, right? You love them,
right,
but
right.
you forget you had that amazing tool, and because you haven't even used it in 10 years because it was in the back of that bucket in the back of the drawer there, and you totally forgot about it, and it might be the perfect tool for that next project.
Well, yeah. Let me say something about your perfect tools. Now, Now, there's one thing about getting the expensive tools, and everybody knows how much shovels are, and they're 25, $30 for the average shovel, something like that. I bought the most expensive shovel, on the market, and it was $89. Hickory handle. It had thick steel on there. I mean, literally glided through this red clay down here. And somebody, I thought, no way. Somebody came to borrow it, and I thought, well, there's no way they're going to hurt that shovel. So I loaned it, and then, of course, they broke it. I was like, okay, broke my $89 pair shovel, and they brought me a $9 one. Said, here, I broke your shovel, and I was just like, okay, no more loaning tools. So anyway, that's it's a funny story I had about that. So go ahead. Uh, uh,
So, let's see. I don't know what questions do you have, Daniel? And is there something in particular you've been thinking about with your own setup? And
well, I mean the the canned food. I mean, I'm going to put everything in the pantry. I mean, for homesteaders and you're going to can food. I mean, that's just you're going to prepare, and it's a homesteader is a prepper, gone viral. So, it's just instead of just buying all the stuff, you're preparing it. I mean, you're growing it yourself and then canning it. So you're just, it's different stages. Homesteader, I mean, you're a prepper, then a survivalist, then uh survivalist prepper, then a homesteader. So you're going through these stages. So uh are you saying that we should just I know you're not really saying anything, but uh there's got to be a maximum to things, right? Is what you're saying with like food storage. I mean, you can't be shoving stuff under beds and all that. It's that kind of stuff. And so that's my question is enough is enough, right? A year's worth of food it should be good enough, right? Or are you saying just whatever you can manage without cluttering yourself is more like what you're saying, right?
yeah, so there are several factors. That's a really good question. Is a few things. You if you've got mounds of debt, then it doesn't make sense to go spend hundreds of dollars on all of these extra supplies. First things first, deal with the debt to the best of your ability, or start making great progress towards it. Don't overexert yourself spending money on supplies. And then also do what's reasonable for your family. So, starting out, someone who's just starting out completely, they're going to have to just start with building up kind of like a month's worth of the essentials, some beans, some rice, some flour, whatever, things like that. And then could be the person on the other spectrum who's the all out homesteader, and they've got tons of their own canned goods and dried goods. And so for them, maybe they're at the stage where they're watching for specials, and they're adding a solar oven, or they're adding a hand crank blender, things like that, to then take it to the next level. But once again, if they're living in a tiny house, it might not be realistic for them to be going to that extreme. But perhaps the person in a 3,000 square foot home, they could have places for these things. So that's why it's so unique, and there's not a one size fits all. And the point is to spend within your means, to live within your means, to reduce the excess and the waste in all areas, to keep the things that you value, that you love, that serve a purpose. Try to make as many things as possible have multifunction and multi-purpose, and just take it slow and be patient.
Okay, well, we got some questions. It is about that time for us to
Yeah.
start answering questions. Now, me and you have talked about Steam It before, and you know what Steam It is, right? I was explaining it to you a little bit. I have a Steam It account, and actually, it's a blockchain, and the blockchain is it's they're not controlling your money. You control your money, so it's a little bit different than this setup, but it's a lot better actually. So you don't even have to have video; you can just write a story. But we talked about Steam It before, right? And it's something you're going to look into, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking So I was looking in the comments here. So were some people asking about that?
Yes, yes. Uh, Daddy Curb, Blake Kirby, he makes 500 a week from Steam It, so it's definitely a profitable market there. Yeah, and sorry, somebody was texting me, but yeah, y'all go check out my Steam It and help me, support this homestead. I hate to plug myself there, but Wheatree put up a link for my Steam account. I mean, it's I need to make more accounts there because I'm not a good typist, so I'm working on that. So, but anyway, we're gonna open up to questions for Rachel, and if y'all have questions for her, uh please just go ahead and ask them in the chat, and she'll watch for them. I'll watch for them, and because she's so full of energy and she's so positive. I mean, this is going really well. I'm really excited about this, and so anyway, Mr. Raines had me laughing a couple of times. So yeah, I wouldn't loan nobody my backhoe either if I had a backhoe. uh, yeah. So anybody got any questions about for Rachel about minimalism? Uh, minimalist, minimalist, minimal. Okay, never mind. I'm just not gonna say it. Having less stuff. Yes, that's less stuff.
Mr. Rain asks, Rachel, what is your goals for 2018? So that's a great question, Mr. Rain. Thanks for asking. Now that I've just got this homestead, my goals for this year, well, I should add first, I was super proud in this moving process since I've spent so much time purging. It's so awesome right now. Literally every room that I go to pack, I'm not having to throw anything away. I'm not getting frustrated that I have like all this junk. Everything I pack is stuff that I want. So when I move to this new homestead for this new journey, I'm going to be able to build this whole new dream life. And so for this upcoming year, I really want to build my business as a health coach to help people improve all areas of their life, their health, their mind, body, spirit, finances, relationships. I want to help teach people how to garden and grow organically. I want to, build this homestead, and I'm so glad to have met all of you guys and have this fantastic support because I can come and share with you the things that I've learned along my journey, and you can check me out on my channel. And I am so stoked to learn from you, all you like expert homesteaders and ranchers and farmers of what are the best ways to do this, to live on the land and how to go off grid. So those are some of my big goals this coming year.
Yeah, that's going off grid is a is a journey, and I know on this property, talking about off grid, I have been off grid for 5 years. But see, that not everybody knows the property that I had before this. I was actually, off grid for 9 years. So it's
It's
been,
so cool.
yeah. So it's a lifestyle, and it's a change. And you were talking about your oil lamps being in your closet. I mean, if you look right there, there's my where I keep my oil lamps right there. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I'm using so much power to make it bright in here. I'm going to be lighting them oil lamps in a few hours. I promise you that.
Yeah, yeah. We have let's see, Tawana Lynn said, how do you get started? Great question, Tawana. I can answer that, quickly in saying the best way to get started in your minimalism journey. There's a few steps that I highly recommend. First things first, I recommend that something I call the speed purge, right? Because when you've got, I mean, a lot of Americans in particular have so much stuff. Their house is full, their garage is full, they're renting storage units, and trying to like get your mind around purging that is can be very overwhelming, and actually it's a very emotional process that a lot of people aren't prepared for. So with the speed purge, you're going to get some boxes, get some bags, and you're going to start going room to room, drawer to drawer, cupboard to cupboard, and as quickly as you can, like lightning, right? Anything that in a split second you don't need, you don't want, it's broken, it can't be repaired, chuck it in the box, chuck it in the bag, get rid of it as quickly as possible. So right away, in a matter of moments, hours, you've mass purged your house and it really feels good. You want to get that momentum going. And then from there, you can take it to the next level. And I highly recommend that you get someone involved. Now, of course, if any of you guys were interested in having a professional, assistance, then of course you can contact me. That's something that I help people with. But if that's not your thing, you can just call a friend, a family member, someone that you trust, that you feel safe with, that's a neutral third party that is not emotionally involved or attached to your things. And they help you through that process, and they can help keep you motivated, keep you moving. You don't want to spend, an hour sitting in front of one box crying over, something that was given to you 15 years ago. When you have a lot of purging to do, you don't have time to spend an hour in a box. You got to move, and you need that third person to kind of snap you out of it and say, do you need that? When's the last time you used it? When's the next time you're going to use it? All of that. So, and I have a lot of other information on the minimalism journey, how to get started, what to expect. So please, head on over to my channel. I even have a whole minimalism playlist, and you'll find lots of great content. Some of the videos are older, but the meat is still good. And I am going to be making a lot of new videos coming up. So, let's see here.
Yeah, when in Idaho, ask your question.
Let me go up. Oh, I've heard lots about KonMari. What do you think of her method? So great question. Obviously with being a minimalist extraordinaire and liking that kind of lifestyle and doing lots of research, I've heard that name and that book everywhere. I know people near and dear to me who have read it. I personally haven't read it. I'm sure I do things in my method that is what she preaches. Everything I know about it, it's great. It's certainly something you could get started with. And also a great resource if you're interested in this minimalism topic is to subscribe to some guys who call themselves the minimalists. They have podcasts but they're phenomenal. I really like their messages. I'm not affiliated with them at all. I'd love to be, but I just really dig their style. But KonMari, everything I've heard, good stuff. I mean, just learning to live on less, valuing the things you have more, creating more space in your life is always going to be good, no matter where, those tips and tricks and tools are coming from. Let's see.
What do you think about Fly Lady?
Fly Lady.
I don't know.
I don't know who Fly Lady is, but if you guys know of something I don't know of, please. I'm like a
What do you
sponge.
think of Fly Lady? That's what Allie said. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who Fly Lady is.
Everybody saying goodnight to Food Forest Permaculture. Uh,
Oh, okay. Good night, Food Forest Permaculture. Thank you for joining us.
yes, it was awesome.
For all you guys too that are interested in kind of downsizing, minimizing your stuff, I am on my channel here, probably maybe even this next week, going to be rolling out a really exciting 7-day minimalism challenge. So I'm just wrapping up the final details on my website right now. That's going to be launching here this week or next week. And then you're going to have the opportunity to where you can go on, submit your email and sign on for either my 2018 monthly toolkit, or I'm going to have people sign up for this minimalism challenge 7-day. You'll get an email for just that week. Normally, I would only send out emails once a month, but for that week, you get an email every day with some special content, with some challenges and tasks of how to get you started on your minimalism journey. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, then I invite you all, and please keep watching my channel, keep checking in for details on that, because it's getting rolled out very soon. Let me know if that's something that sounds fun to you guys.
Can somebody put Rachel's channel up so Terry can sub to her? You're at like 1003 or something.
Oh, that's awesome. And hi, Terry Simmons. I'm glad you're interested in subscribing to my channel. I really, fortunately, since I have been so small, really, I love having a channel. I like engaging with people. I mean, obviously, I'd love to be able to continue to grow my business and have this be a source of income to allow me to have the freedom to wake up and do my yoga and feed my chickens and be a wife and mom. But also, really at the end of the day, I just want to spread a good message. So I really like connecting with people. So for all those that are here tonight that don't know me or are new to my channel, I really encourage you to share with me your story. Get engaged in my comment sections, and because I truly gain a lot of value from that. And so I'm really grateful to all of you for being so supportive.
Dylan's works ask, how do you minimize with kids? Is that possible?
Yeah, it totally is. Actually, I tag that a lot in my videos, minimalism with kids, because I have an 11-year-old and I have a husband, which is pretty much like a kid. And so, the key is to incorporate systems in your house. Because when you have kids in particular, they don't care. They put things, ooh, 1006 subs. Awesome, guys. Thanks. But you'll notice when you have kids in your house and stuff that laundry gets piled in on the floor, or dishes get piled on certain tabletops, or surface space, empty surface space can be like the arch nemesis in any household, right? If you start noticing that there's a surface space or a floor space or a corner that frequently has things piled there, especially if it's frequently the same types of things, then guess what? It's amazing how when you magically put a trash can there, or you magically put a laundry basket there, or you put baskets there that are labeled with that particular item, that's where it goes, people feel really uncomfortable throwing their dirty shirt on the floor next to the laundry basket when there's a laundry basket right there. So when you have kids, when you have husbands, or maybe you're male minimalist and you got a messy wife, I'm not gonna, be sexist here. You just got to create systems. It's all about working smarter, not harder, and creating things that are going to flow, an organization that will flow. It's no point in being organized, if you've got all these things all pretty labeled and baskets, and then you have to, like, if you notice that your organization has a basket in the back of the cupboard, but every day you find you have to pull everything out to pull that basket out. Well, kudos that you've got an organization system with baskets that are labeled, but B, obviously it's an ineffective system if you're having to pull everything out every day to get to that basket. So start being consciously aware of your habits, your family's habits, your routines, and implementing systems and procedures that create a flow and keep things organized and clean as often as possible.
I was reading a comment. Dylan said, I start walking to Dylan works, start walking to the kids' bedrooms with trash bags, and they suddenly get motivated. That usually works. So,
Yeah. And also too, the thing with minimalism and kids or spouses, what I have found, and this is true of all things in life, the key is to create invitation, to welcome people into it. I know for me, I don't like when people force things on me. If you're telling me there's a problem with the way I live, if you're telling me I need to do this, I need to do that, I should be this, I shouldn't do that, it's gonna flare up my feathers a little bit, and I'm sure it would be for you too. Nobody likes to be told what to do. So with kids and spouses, if you are wanting to adopt a minimalist lifestyle and nobody else is on board yet, spearhead the way, lead, inspire, invite, don't force. And what happens is very magical. When you just start, they see mom or dad, working up a frenzy, and you're tossing this, and you're in a good mood about it, and you're turning it into a positive thing, they start getting excited too. And so what I did on my minimalism journey is I just started doing my stuff, or the common household things that I had the right to do. I didn't force anybody, and I just said, hey guys, if you want to go through your stuff, I put a box in the hallway. Feel free to put some stuff in there, and I'll take it to donation at the end of the week. And guess what? The boxes started getting filled.
oh, somebody said, oops, I'm moving the mouse all around. I was reading the comments. I'm sorry. Such interesting conversations. It's really hard to run a live stream. There's so many interesting people in the chat, and you're I'm listening to you, and I'm watching this. So it's because I like watching live streams, and I like the interaction with with my audience, and I just really enjoy that. And I know you're about to start doing this. Is your first live stream, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
so I'm sorry, guys, if I have not been a natural here or anything. I This is my first live stream. This is my live stream debut. So it's a lot going on, yeah, but it's fun, and I like the interaction, because normally as a YouTube creator, you have your fancy lights and you got your backdrop, and you're in your own little world, and you're talking to hundreds or thousands, or for some YouTubers, millions of people, but you're just by yourself, and it might be 2 a.m. and you're in your, from the lower half down pajamas, but a pretty shirt. So it's like the live stream. It's cool because it's actually in the moment. You get to talk to people. It's That's cool. I think I'm going to start rolling out a lot more live streams. For all of you guys who have recently subscribed, if there's maybe some topics you'd want to see me do some live streams on, I'd love to get your feedback. Please let me know. Oh, thank you, Miss Rain. You're so sweet. I just I have to say, I just love Heidi. And when I first saw Mr. and Mrs. Rain, it was actually one of my viewers. I did featured her in one of my minimalism videos on sentimental items, and she had recommended that I start doing collaborations, and she suggested Rain Country as one of them, and I reached out to them, and I just instantly loved Mr. and Mrs. Rain. They're just sitting there in their garden. There's chickens running around. They're cool people. They're really cool people.
we have
Um,
14 thumbs down. Somebody had to buy those thumbs down. So that's why YouTube doing this to y'all. The smaller channels. It's because people that are buying their thumbs down, buying their subscribers, and buying their thumbs up and stuff. So they had to actually spend money on it. So I'm honored, that you had to go spend money to try to make me feel bad, but I don't. I don't care.
so there's 14 thumbs down. People bought those?
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
we should be honored, Daniel. Thank you. That,
Well,
I believe
it
everyone
wasn't
should
you.
spend money on what they value. So if you value spending money on me and Daniel for a thumbs down, I give you a thumbs up.
Yeah, I give him a thumbs up too. You spend money on. Thank you. I'll thumbs down myself. Just give the money to me. Oh,
um,
thumbs down. Thumbs down. Give me another dollar. Another dollar. Yep. There you go. There we go.
so Mama Rain, to say someone is high energy is a compliment, Rachel. Oh, that's nice. Um, let's see. What do we got going on here? Oh, so the garage. Dylan was talking about the garage. Yeah, that one's like a nightmare for most people, right? And especially for preppers, homesteaders, because you probably got tools, you've got supplies, you've got storage, you've got camping gear. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And a lot of people, myself included at one point, when you like want to go out to the deep freezer to, pull out that frozen lasagna, and you've got to literally like play Tetris to get to the deep freezer because there's just so much stuff piled. Yeah, no, that is no fun. I can't even tell you the thrill you will get if you go spend a couple Saturdays out there, get rid of the excess, get rid of the waste, organize it, label it, make it look pretty. Every time you walk in your garage, you might even go just sit in your garage just to look at how pretty it looks. So, Dylan, take a couple Saturdays and tackle that garage, man. You will feel so good. And I want to hear from you, and maybe even send me a photo of when you've got it all nice and organized.
Yeah. I don't have any garages, so but I do have a
Blissful
cob house.
Acres says, "This is a great live stream, Daniel. Thank you, Blissful
Well,
Acres."
yes. Thank you, Blissful. Uh, and thank you to those people that give them thumbs up, and y'all we've been subscribing to Rachel. Y'all hit the subscribe button for me too, so that would be awesome, and hit the thumbs up. Not, hey, breakaway. Now you get here. come in at the last minute. No.
So Mama Posh says, "Do you have a book on minimalist?" I actually, that's part of my plans for when Mr. Rain asked about 2018. Is I want to start rolling out some ebooks, some recipe books, and some books on minimalism, all kinds of different things. And so those will be coming in the upcoming months. It's a lot when you're building your own business, and now I'm going to be building this homestead. It's step by step, and for me, health is first and foremost. So I'm just doing the best I can, and every support you guys have given me is just helping me along that journey. When in Idaho says, "Have you done a house tour?" Well, there might be some interesting things coming up here in the future, and I'm talking to a few different people about some interesting collaborations involving my homestead. But I will definitely be doing a home tour and showing you guys how I am homesteading and prepping and having a family and running a business and all these things, but having a minimalist home and really having the life that I love. So that's coming soon, and I'd love for you to be a part of that. So thank you for asking, when in Idaho.
Hey, Freaky. Yeah, me and Freaky have met, and oh, you got another. Rachel, you are very cheerful. Yeah, she is very cheerful and happy, and so she's worked hard for this. So we've been collaborating on this thing, and she has worked really hard. She really deserves it. That's why I'm promoting these smaller channels, because it's somebody that works this hard. They deserve recognition. So uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I probably find a few other smaller channels that I think really deserve some recognition, and see where that goes. Rachel probably helped me with that too. So
Yeah, well, Daniel, I was flattered when you asked me. There are some channels that I want to pay it forward. That's how I even knew about all this that's going on, was because when I went over to your channel for the first time and I saw your video and what you and these other YouTubers were doing. I said it in one of my recent videos. It brought me to tears, because there's just not enough of that in the world. And you turn on the news, you even just go out and have a conversation with someone at the grocery store. People are so negative and just toxic, and they just want to, like, vomit it all over you. And I'm, there's no point. You get so much further in life from being kind and loving and providing service and being open and friendly. And sure, sometimes you get burned, but you get blessed way more. And so there are some smaller YouTubers than even me, if that's even possible, because I am a small growing channel, but I just love the love and love the support. So there are a few people. I'm going to make a little video for you, Daniel, to join in on that and to support them. But anyone commenting on my cheerfulness, I thank you for that, because I didn't always used to be that way, and that is something that has really come through this minimalism journey, and this just journey towards taking responsibility for my own role in my own life. That no one, no thing, no job, no place, no person, no relationship, no lack of money is responsible for my own unhappiness. And when I realized how much control I actually had in my own life, and I started taking charge of that, because I think that's where most people are really unhappy, is that there's a lot of things we can't control. You can't control if a partner leaves you. You can't control if you lose a loved one. These things, you can't control a natural disaster. So when people don't have control over those things, but then they also are out of control with their weight or their money, or they hate their job, or they hate their marriage, then when those other things happen that they actually really can't control, they just feel outright out of control, and they're miserable and they're unhappy. So yeah, when you just start loving yourself, loving your life, and not having expectations of yourself or anyone else, I'm just high on life all the time. I just want to float on clouds and hand out daisies.
yeah, I'm thinking about bringing it to a new level. And I'm pretty good about editing videos, and I hope everybody thinks I'm pretty good on editing videos. And I thought about showing a few tricks on editing videos. If everybody's interested, because I'd really like to help. I mean, some people, that's all their channel needs, is just edited videos, because they spin
Yeah.
it too quickly, or something like that. So You
That's a
know,
great idea because you do really good stuff. I mean, like even the teaser trailer. I loved, I told you, your thumbnail. I liked the way you presented it, better than the way I did mine. I thought, oh, I didn't even think about it like that. So yeah, you have a lot to offer there for the, newer YouTubers. Someone asked how new is my channel. My channel's been up for about a year and a half or so. So I'm proud of my progress, and I've come a long way. I put a lot of effort into researching, but even someone like myself would love to hear from you, Daniel, about tips on editing and thumbnails and tags and all those things, because that is the way I do find smaller YouTube channels than me, or even similar size, where they have really killer content, but it's almost painful to watch their videos because it's just such filming or different things. And so, yeah, I think giving tips would be great.
yeah, Lonely Prepper. Hey, I didn't get to say hey to you earlier. I'm glad to see you here, brother. And yeah, actually, me and Rachel have talked about doing several collaborations together. This won't be the last time you see her on the channel. That's for sure. Is that okay with you, Rachel? Uh,
I don't know, Daniel. I'm really disappointed in how this has all gone down. I think you've totally wasted my time, and you're probably never going to hear from me again.
okay. All right. All right.
No, 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 man. I would love, and I don't know. So we've talked about a few things. Should we keep them hush hush and reveal them later, or should we divulge some things we've talked about?
Well, maybe we should keep something secret. So, nothing bad. So don't think nothing. Just future projects we're working together. She's in Vegas, so out there, not Vegas, but close to there. And when in Idaho asked me what kind of editing program I use Vegas Movie Pro. Uh, so, but yeah, I'm thinking about doing some homesteading editing videos. I'm not very good, but there's been a few people teach me a few things and a few tricks that would really help people. uh Everybody tries to take their videos in one shot, and I'm not that good. I'm not that good at all. I can't take a video in one shot. I'm going to mess up two or three times. So even in our teaser videos, I I couldn't get your name right. I was like, uh,
I
Ben
know.
Happy, and I had to do it like 10 times. And I was like, okay, I'll just cut all that out. So I finally cut it out and I ended up piecing it together, but nobody noticed. So, but I was thinking about doing that kind of stuff now. Somebody saying, Springfield Ridge, tell us now. No,
Yeah, I see, and looks like someone else is saying ditto. Yeah, it's yeah, it's some good stuff. That's what I love, guys, too, with being cheerful and positive and forming networks, and what's so beautiful, I think, about this homesteading community and stuff too, is that you just when you come at life from a place of humility and gratitude and love and positivity, it's amazing the beautiful things that can manifest, and you feel form these friendships and these partnerships. And I mean, I met Mrs. Rain however many months back, and we've just kind of built a friendship, and we did a video together, and then they were kind enough to shout me out, and now I'm connected with Daniel, and now we're doing this, and now thanks to all of you guys, I'm over 1,000 subscribers, so I'm not going to get shut down from the partnership program, and now I'm meeting all these other people, and we can do some other cool videos, and hopefully just all really build a network, because we've all got something special to share, so we can all learn from each other. And I'd love to do collaborations with any of you YouTubers. If you're interested, reach out to me.
yeah, I agree. And I'm the same way. And I'm thinking about this. It's something that, I was going to run by Rachel, but, since she made it, since she's not going to be demonetized, I'm thinking about reaching out to the YouTube community and let's find somebody else that I can help and get them over the mark. But we only got a little bit of time, so we need to get these people in there. Somebody that's motivated, somebody that wants to edit their videos, somebody that's got good content. Let's vote and get it in here and find some little people that we can build up and get them
Yeah,
over.
that'd be fun, Daniel. We could pick somebody, and we can tag team it too, because then, I might, even though you're way more experienced than me in the YouTube realm, you've been doing it a lot longer. I'm sure I could still bring some artistic flair tips or different things to them, and maybe between the two of us, we could help somebody else reach their marker too.
Oh yeah, we could probably help a bunch more people. We got till February something,
I
February
know.
20.
I thought I was freaking out thinking if I was going to do it or not in the 30 days. I just said I'm just going to have faith. I'm just going to put good vibes out there, and I did it in less than a week thanks to all you awesomeness. So
Yeah, I went to I went to live streams today, and I was like shouting out Rachel's channel, and I was like, y'all mind if I shout out somebody's channel? Of course, you got to ask somebody's permission to do that, but it's all about community, and if you have respect, these other people will have respect for you too. Uh so I think we can get a bunch of people over. So let's all, since we're all here, so I'm saying to everybody, let's join together. Let's get some other people. Let's help as many people as we can to
I
get
love
past
it. I love it.
uh, Holler Homestead. Is so close. I can somebody send me a link? Not in the chat because it'll disappear, but the Holler Homestead, and I'll contact them. And how close to y'all when in Idaho? Did you? How many subs did y'all get? I know you're pretty close. I've been meaning to contact you, and I have some suggestions that will help. And with these suggestions, I hope y'all don't think I'm being arrogant or anything like that. I'm not trying to be uh, arrogant in any way. It's just something that I've seen has worked, and I'm just sharing it with you. So okay, so I was reading the chat. So oh, Mr. Rain, you got to put out some videos on that channel. Uh, you have no idea what you're talking about. The reason they showing dead people on the video. I don't know what that Gluckson. Somebody needs to. I don't know that I don't understand that. He says I have no idea about why. And I know people that actually bought their views, bought their subs, and bought their likes. You look at their video and it's got 50 views, but then it's got 100 likes. How is that possible? So, oh, thank you, Wheatree. You took care of that. Just a troll dipping in real quick. But we with with this, and with this, with me helping. Since I'm a bigger channel, you get enemies and you get people like that, haters that for no reason they just want to attack and to say bad stuff about you, and it's just part of it. But I let it roll off one shoulder. Uh, I So it's okay. But go ahead. Tell them a little bit more. We're over time here, but we're going kind of good. And
Yeah, actually, we as time went on, we just got more people joining in.
yeah, well, yeah, I've seen a bunch of people, coming in. Hey, what? Hawaii volcano. Did you ever tell me that when in Idaho, how many subscribers you gained? Oh, okay. You sent me an email. Uh, but I have some suggestions for y'all too. When in Idaho, and if you don't mind me giving you the suggestions anyway. So, but anyway, go ahead and finish what you were saying about you were talking about the book and the other goals you had for 2018. Do you have any other goals for? Well, you can't tell them everything. The plans for. Uh,
So, for those of you that are now, there are so many of you that are new to my channel, just to kind of share with you what you might find, because my channel very much is just a documentation of my life. And so, in this upcoming year, what you're going to probably see from me is a pretty big explosion, because right now this is like the volcano eruption for me in my life, and everything that I've been preparing for years now, of working towards financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. So this upcoming year, I'm going to have a lot of videos on my channel about, taking my health to the next level, about, I'm going to be rolling out books and sharing lots of information about how to, really eat a plant-based diet, and then, how all this is going to be incorporated with having a homestead, and being a minimalist and being as efficient as possible. And I'm going to document my husband's actually an accountant auditor, and I was telling you about this, Daniel. He's going to help me keep some really good track records of everything from start to finish, over the upcoming years on my channel, you guys can really see very precise details about what investment, initial startup costs were, and tracking the actual profit each month, and what it ended up resulting in. And that's why I really am so thrilled to be tapping into you, Daniel, and other people in this community who have been doing this a long time, that are experienced, who can really help me with that. And so that's why I really invite any of you YouTubers to contact me, and we can, I can bring my flair, and you can bring your flair, and we can talk all things, healthy, happy, frugal, self-reliant, homesteading, helping people live their dream life. Because I told you, Daniel, it was recently when there's haters everywhere, but I was telling someone about my plans for the homestead, and this person's never grown a plant in their life. They've never, I'm sure they have never helped a chicken or a goat, milked a goat, or done anything like that, had a homestead, but they were an expert in letting me know all the things of why I can't do this, why I shouldn't do it. It's gonna cost way too much money. It makes no sense. And so I really want to just kind of bring to the table that it is possible to do this. And I think the reason why people hate on it is that, yeah, it might be hard work, but it's good work. It feeds the soul at the same time that it feeds you and your family and neighbors and friends. And anytime you are being your true and authentic self, and you're living a simple life, and people aren't living that way, it challenges them and it makes them uncomfortable, and then they hate on you for it. So, when you can come to them with real numbers, you can show them that you're not just as I said, floating on clouds, handing out daisies, but you're actually being smart about it. It's,
Yeah,
that's you'll see a lot of that from coming up on my channel.
that's one thing about homesteading. There's no shortage of work, and every day there's no shortage of work, and uh so that's what we're getting into. And the cold, I have never had a problem with my pipes, and these new winters are freezing my pipes. So uh it's the weather changing, it's you're getting ready for it. So you're going to get ready to work, and which that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to watch your journey and through your homesteading. uh
Yeah, because I'm gonna do all, like, I love to do woodworking. I like to build things. I like to refinish things. I have been dreaming of the day of finally being a first time homeowner, because I'm going to be, hopefully doing ground molding and laying tile and painting wall murals and hanging chandeliers and building goat structures. And, I'm going to I want to show people that you can do anything. You can be a purple haired chick in Las Vegas with a half an acre and some goats and, laying tile. So anything's possible. And I'm up for any suggestions from anybody. Do we have any questions of anybody in the chats or anything right now?
uh the few people looking for your channel,
Oh, so it's,
that
if you go on, it's Spend Smart, Live Happy. I think there's been some links put in there.
yeah,
Spend
Mr.
Smart,
Bean
Live
did that.
Happy.
Yeah, we have quite a few trolls have been coming in here, and the wrenches have been smacking them. Smack. Before I even see the comment, they're being smacked. So it's awesome. But we got 26 thumbs down. I told you I'll thumbs down myself. If you just send me the money, just go ahead and send me the money. That's fine with me. I don't care. Why waste money on somebody else? You're just paying somebody in India or something that has a supercomputer to send their computer to thumbs down something, and I'll thumbs down my videos 20 times, you know.
Hello, Hawaii Volcano Squad. You just subbed to the purple haired lady. Thank you. You know, this is part of my whole non-corporate life. When I said that's it, I'm not gonna live in a box. If I wanna, be self-employed, if I want to have a homestead, if I want to do any of these things, I can do it, and so can you. And that's why I really dig you, Daniel. Is I love your freedom, your spirit that you're saying. These small YouTubers can't get shut down, or you're dealing with your own personal challenges, and you're not letting it shut you down. You're still spreading positivity and love in the world, and so yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Wheat trees tell me stay focused, stop worrying about the trolls. But yeah, that's something that now, you were talking about your goals. I have some goals 2018 too, and Steemit is one of my goals, to to be on there more. And I would suggest to all these other YouTubers to go ahead and start there, and go ahead and look around, and it's really easy to do. And so that's something me and you are gonna I'm gonna help you with your Steemit, and a few other websites, and you're gonna help me with some Amazon affiliates and stuff like that. So we're gonna coordinate and work together for mutual benefits.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm very excited about that because money is not the most important thing. Money does not bring happiness, but you have to have it to survive, and so that's what's cool about if you're not happy in your job and you want to leave and do something that you love, work for yourself, build your own business, have your own homestead, your farm, make your money off your land. You can do that, but it takes money, and when you're investing a lot of time in creating, it's nice to be able to support that and to be able to share a good message. So definitely I'd be interested in learning about that and seeing how else I can share my message. I think someone asked about um, a capsule wardrobe. I'm working towards that. Once I get to my goal weight, I've lost over 70 pounds now in the last 2 years with adopting a plant based diet and growing my own organic foods in my backyard. And that's something I really want to ramp up and encourage others and help others do the same. So once I get to my final goal weight, I will buy my capsule wardrobe. So, Daniel, I guess maybe we could take a moment. I was curious to ask you, like, do you feel like are your biggest trouble areas in your house with your clutter or excess?
hmm, uh, well, it, everywhere. I mean, that's the house is still under construction, so I moved things from one area to another area, and somebody's using me as a troll. That's kind of weird. But yeah, I moved stuff around uh, to work on areas. So uh, it my biggest area is probably the food, and moving the food into one location. I'm building a pantry, and actually the pantry is going to go right here. Uh, I'm actually building a half bathroom. Eventually someday, I'd like to have two bathrooms. People come into the living room, they don't have to walk to the kitchen and my bedroom to get to the bathroom. So things are changing around. I have some big projects that I'm working on. Uh, yeah, but the house, finishing the house, is my number one priority. But I'm about to have to start rebuilding the greenhouse because I want to be ready for springtime. Uh, so that really get that going. Uh,
Okay. Now, do you have a lot of canned goods in your food storage?
oh yeah.
I don't know what you had planned, but I mean, obviously you are a handy builder. So something they're very, very expensive to buy, but if you can build it yourself, it's brilliant. And I intend on doing so. If I can, get all the right tools and things that I need. But you can buy, if you weren't already planning on doing it, you can build the special shelves that where the cans drop, and then that's what helps you keep your. Have you know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm real curious about that. Where you
Okay,
can't
so
jar.
that's something I probably should have mentioned earlier, but we still have a lot of people here. So anybody who is chiming in for this is a great way to store and minimize your canned goods storage and be able to rotate them so that you're not, having a bunch of cans that you have to throw away because they spoil. So like I said, if you buy them, I think they can be well over $1,000. But if you are handy with tools, you can build them. And it's essentially like a rack, and it's a drop system where you put the cans in from the back, and they slide like down. So when you go and you pull, you want some pinto
Like,
beans, you're going to pull from the front, and it's the or first in, first out, right? So that was maybe the can that you loaded 6 months ago, but it's in the front because it's the oldest can. And so you're constantly, and then you reload in the back. So you're always using the oldest can. And then if you're only storing the items that are frequently used items in your home, then you are preventing that waste. It's the best way to store cans. It's just you have to either have the money to buy it or the skills to build it.
wow, that's like a Coke machine. So
Yeah,
even
very
though
much, but it's for canned goods. And so that's something I can help show you a link to. And actually, I'd be curious, maybe we can find a good kind of builder friendly model and maybe that's a video we could do together. We build our canned good racks.
yeah, yeah, that's and I can build it too. And you already give me ideas, and so in the pantry, you walk into this one area, and it could be the wall, and actually you load it in through the wall. So yeah, I need some links, but I know I can build it, and that would
Yeah,
be a good series building that can thing.
yeah.
Uh, but
And
it
that's
wouldn't
that's
work
all
for
about
candy
that,
jars.
working smarter, not harder.
Yeah, it wouldn't work for candy jars for the stuff that I
No, no,
can.
no, no. Those you have to keep upright and everything, but just your standard store bought canned goods.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, so that's pretty awesome. That's a brilliant idea. Thank you so much. That gives me more options to think about things, and that would, especially building it yourself and being able to work. I wonder if it's spring loaded or something. Surely wouldn't throw the cans in, and they would be slamming against each other. So I,
There's different models, and that's why, like, if you buy, you buy one. I mean, sometimes they can be, like I said, well over $1,000. There's some very fancy models, and so then you could, of course, build a very simple one, or if you have the skill set, build a more advanced one. And so that might be just something we kind of have to look at some different models and create a hybrid or something.
Terry, do
Um,
you have a video of that? Somebody said that they're building a rack for their canning jars. And I'd like to see that because you have
oh,
to save the boxes for canning jars to be able to put them on top of each other, which is it's aggravating. But yeah, somebody said something to you. Do you have a video of your weight loss?
oh, yeah, Stringfield Ridge Farm. Thank you for asking. Actually, that was. It's been hard. I've been doing so much in my life to try to, because I was working a very, an executive level corporate job, so many hours, plus doing this YouTube, my family, trying to lose weight, build a business. It was like insane the last year and a half of my life. So now I'm like at to the point where I'm really starting to create this dream life and have more time to do the things that I love. And so there's a ton of videos that I want to make. And that is definitely one of them to kind of show people how to lose weight. Because it wasn't, I didn't lose 70 pounds in 3 months. It took me over 2 years. It was slow and steady, but it was sustainable. And I'm not about the quick fix, the diet pill. I didn't have a personal trainer. I didn't have a gym membership. I didn't starve myself. I ate fats and carbs every day. I ate chocolate and dessert almost every day. It was about substituting things. So I am going to be making some videos on that. So if that's something you're interested, please watch, because that's a big part of why I've started this journey as a health coach. And I really want to show women that you don't have to starve yourself or anything to lose weight. Nobody wants to live like that. If you just adopt a plant-based diet and grow your own organic foods, things like that, it's amazing what you can do. Be so satisfied and lose a ton of weight.
Yeah. Now, the canning jar lids. Somebody asked, what can you do with canning jar lids? You know how you string up peppers when you're drying peppers? I just do the same thing. I string them up and hang them up on the wall, and it gets them out of the way. So, well, it's probably a bad idea, but hey, it works. But yeah, the weight loss. I mean, uh, you're talking about don't starve yourself. I went on a 30-day fast. And I lost 40 pounds. So that's so I'm feeling a lot healthier, and things are going a lot better for me now that it's over with. You know, and I can eat, and I have chocolate ice cream. I haven't eaten it yet, but
Yeah, yeah, it's actually you can make so if you are a homesteader and you've got a lot of nice fruit trees or fresh berry bushes, and there's so many really delicious like raw vegan desserts and stuff that you can make with all natural products, nothing processed, nothing refined, and so ridiculously good and high in protein, high in nutrients. Someone asked if I do canning and food preserving, and I do. That's not something I've shown really, I'm not sure at all much on my channel, but I that's why I said in my teaser, it's a dying art. I mean, honestly, if you lined up 100 girls my age, inner city girls, and you ask them, do you know how to dehydrate beef jerky? Do you know how to make, homemade applesauce? That you'd like get a deer in headlights look, right? It's a dying art, but it's so critical. And the food, when you make it yourself and you know what's in it, and it tastes better. I mean, once you have homemade applesauce, which I'm sure most of you probably make it yourselves, but I mean, for those of you who hadn't, or for those of you when you remember the first time you did, it's 1,000 times better than anything you'd buy at the grocery store. So yeah, I do like to can, I do like to preserve and dehydrate, and I'm super excited about having a much more large scale garden. And I want Daniel to help me out with it, getting a greenhouse on my property so that I can be doing, tomatoes and things year round. So I love salsa. I'm like a Mexican food junkie. And so I love salsa. I want to be able to can lots of salsa and things like that.
oh yeah, and that's something that I do. I can salsa, and and it's something that uh, when I have the fresh ingredients coming in, it's something that I sell at $5 a pint jar is the salsa because everybody loves it. So I sell it all out, and I'm like, I didn't leave me none. So
I can't believe, Daniel, we still have like 35 people watching.
hey,
It's gone up
70.
and down, but it's been pretty steady and true. I hopefully people are enjoying this. We kind of got a little off topic and talked about a number of things, but I've been having a really fun time and getting to know some of these people in here. Really nice people.
Oh yeah, this is part of the homestead community, and this isn't all of them. So there's a lot more too. So, and I'm sure when you get into there, then they'll all just be just as nice to you as all these people are. The ping makes me happy. Okay, I don't know. I don't understand 7D. The ping makes me happy. You can't make bread. Okay. Win in Idaho says she can't make bread. That's something that with the Adobe oven, I love to make bread. It's been a little too cold here lately. We've been having Canada weather up here for a few weeks, so it's just calming down a little bit now. So, do you have anything else to add? Because we've been going for about an hour and a half, and we probably need to. Uh,
Yeah, I think we should maybe I'll just make a couple quick comments and see what you want to say and wrap it up. I think I was in a hurry to get logged on. I think my battery's getting ready to die on me. I
okay.
didn't get it plugged in. So I'm just on my laptop, but I guess in closing, I'll say thank you all so much for your love and your support and chatting with us and checking in. And I love the support of my channel where I have the ability to share free messages. I also, very much am on this mission to help others be able to pursue this life of their dreams as I'm doing in my own life. And I'm doing that through this health coaching where I can really help people with their mind, body, and spirit. And if this is something you're interested in, you have any goals, whether it's, getting your home homestead more minimalized and organized, or you are trying to lose weight or anything, and you're interested maybe in some one-on-one, please reach out to me, and we can do that. And thank you, Daniel and Mr. Rain and everybody, for what you've done for me. And I'm really looking forward to collaborating with you more. I come into this whole situation with humility and gratitude, and so I just, anybody has any ideas you want to collaborate with me or anything, please let me know, because I'm pretty much down for anything, anytime. I just like to have fun, love, be loved, and network. So, any last comments or anything you have, or any last questions, Daniel?
Well, I wanted to not any last questions, but I wanted to thank my mods tonight because there were the trolls were coming. I mean, I was just watching them. It's paying attention to you, but the mods they did a wonderful job. I really appreciate all your help, and since you're going to be live streaming, you're going to be needing mods. So maybe you can contact a few of these people, and maybe they'd be interested in moderating for you too. I know I will if you need one. So
Thank
I'm not
you.
I'm not as good as they are, because I mean literally they before I could even read the comment they were zapping them. So
Yes, thank you to our moderators. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I have 1,011 subs. Uh,
right.
that's so awesome. Daniel, is there just one more thank you I could I give?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so something I'm really excited about introducing you guys to, a lot of you homesteaders and ranchers and farmers. I have a dear friend, Josh Cunnings with Boogie Brew. Some of you may have seen him in videos with John Kohler of Growing Your Greens on YouTube. He's a organic gardening supply company based out of Northern California, and he helped network this tonight and promote it. And I just wanted to say thanks to him, and I'd really like to maybe get him connected with some of you guys. I don't have like a monetary connection with him. He's just a friend, and I believe in his product, and I want to help support him as a growing business. And I think that everyone, if you're going to garden, you might as well do it organically, and there's some really quality products with that company. So thank you, Josh, for helping promote this tonight. And please, if anybody's interested in finding out more about Josh's company, let me know.
Yeah, I'm interested in finding out more about his company, and I'm interested in getting in touch with him. Just to network, because I grow all organically, and so that's an awesome thing. But do you have any closing comments, or was that it, or uh,
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You're so awesome, Daniel, and Mr. and Mrs. Rain, and all my new friends. Welcome, and thanks.
yeah,
I hope to keep seeing you around.
yeah, y'all go check out my Steam it, and Rachel will have a Steam it soon, and thank you again for all my mods and everybody, and uh and I love y'all. Y'all know that. I tell everybody on every live, every video, I love y'all. These people that are attacking me, or attacking you, they they can't help it. It's not them. So you got to love
I
everybody.
those things just really don't bother me. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, that's okay. I know they could have just as easily gave me that money that they spent on them thumbs down, and I would have sat there as a whole movie like this, the whole show, just like, you know, it wouldn't be okay. But anyway, uh, I gotta tell Anna, I love you, I miss you, baby, and I gotta give my Hebrew thing. So I don't know if you know that, but when
Yes.
I always tell everybody I love them in Hebrew, which is Ani Ove Ocha, which means I love you in Hebrew.
Ane over ovi ocha
Ove, Ove,
obe obe
Ani
ocha.
Ocha, yes, means I love
Okay.
you in Hebrew.
Well, I
All
love you in Hebrew too.
right, all right, later, guys. Thank
Bye.
y'all.